Here.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Here.
Mr. O'Shea?
Here.
Mrs. Walensky?
Present.
Mr. Bennett?
Here. Next item is open forum pursuant to Public Law 42-46-6B with a maximum of 15 minutes. You get the list to see who signed up. Mr. Ratko.
Ratko, 25 Old Greenville Road. It's a pretty lengthy agenda. I don't know if the council will consider moving that last item up a little bit, or delaying some of these other issues that may not be that important tonight. I know you have to pay bills and do things that are necessary. It'd be nice to, with all the people here that are guests, that move it up a little bit. I know you've got an executive session. I don't know if that could be moved further down the line. It's going to be an interesting session because of the fact that I guess Mr. Vadney is both as the president of the council and also the chair of the building committee. It's kind of hard to separate the two. I don't know if Mr. Vadney should sit with the building committee and the vice president should take over that discussion so that it be a discussion between two different groups versus having one person here and the rest of the committee here. When you're bouncing questions back and forth. It's a suggestion when you get to that topic. But what I'm really here for is the planning board. The last planning board meeting, 2 councilors attended the meeting. And it's unfortunate that the developer, Green Development, was asked a question about planting more trees. He said, I've given enough concessions to the town. I've given you a concession stand, I've given you fireworks. This was also in the Valley Breeze. There were a lot of residents from the surrounding properties. I mean, they were taken back a little bit as to, what's more important in this town, a concession stand and fireworks compared to water quality, soils, buffer zones for development. I mean, we all drink, the people that are drinking public Woonsocket water, part of the watershed for this development goes into the Woonsocket Reservoir. The other half of the watershed on the northbound side goes into the Blackstone River. So there are 2 important watersheds. And people were concerned. The residents, and then we found out there's blasting. And the question came up, what kind of chemicals are you going to use in the blasting? And down in the village, they did change the blasting compound so that there wouldn't be any residue that would end up in Booth Pond and the Blackstone River. So February 6th, there's going to be a lot of discussion for these topics: water quality, soils testing, buffer zones, blasting. But the issue that's really important is who's going to enforce all these issues. Dowling Village, the Valley Alliance, which was a private group, paid for their own consultants and lawyers to monitor the Dowling Village project so that the pre-engineering and the wildlife consultant would own up to the things they committed. So there'd be no violations with silt fences, contamination of blasting. So that was done privately. But in this case, the town is getting an extra $77,000 a year. We're getting an extra $2,000 per megawatt because we gave away the special use permit so that the zoning board of review would not provide some oversight. So who's going to do the oversight for the project? So I'm hoping that at your next meeting, February 3rd, you would consider funding one-year position for a part-time engineer to pay attention to this project to make sure that everything is done properly because of the size of the project. This project is bigger than Dowling Village. It's a big project. It's not something that's not a 1 megawatt project. It's a 38.4 megawatt project. How many hundreds of acres are involved in this? So I hope you would consider that. So that's on that issue on the planning board, which is February 6th. So you have an opportunity at your February 3rd meeting whether you want to discuss oversight for this project, whether the town council would approve funding out of the $77,000 to provide an engineer to oversee, protect the town and the residents. Another topic I didn't notice that you were going to discuss in executive session is land at Old Smithfield. It's unfortunate, a part of the land purchases and the land donations, sometimes there's issues with the property. You never know. You have an appraiser come in and give you a price. But when you buy land or take land, you have to realize, is it important for the town to accept the property? I mean, do we get any benefit from either buying or receiving property? Or is it going to be an expense for us to maintain? It's a big issue. That has to be done. And I guess the question in due diligence, usually you contact the neighbors, and the neighbors on Old Smithfield, some of them have been living there for over 50 years. They know what the condition of that property is. It's something that due diligence you should do, because if you drive down Old Smithfield, it's very interesting. If you drive in from Old Sales Hill Road during normal hours, you're not violating the no traffic, but if you go in on the weekend, you notice there's a lot of runoff water at Old Smithfield. There's plenty of wetlands. There's plenty of runoff water that's coming off different properties on Old Smithfield. Where is that water coming from? It's coming from the hillside somewhere, either on this property or on adjacent properties. But it's something, I guess if you drive Old Smithfield, you're going to see a runoff. It's there. It's not a dry area. There's plenty of ledge, there's plenty of wetlands, and there's plenty of surface water. I don't think the town wants to inherit some other issues buying a piece of property that, maybe it's going to cost us additional funds. Everyone sometimes wants to get rid of property. They did it on Village Way. The developer gave land to the land trust. Turns out that property has quicksand on it. So there's a danger, you laugh about it, but that elderly complex spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get rid of the quicksand before they could put up the two-story building. So the land behind it has quicksand in it. I don't think anybody wants to go walking on that land behind the Village Way. I was told, don't go walking on that property. They've lost cows in the past. But that's the issue. Also in Pacheco Park, when there was a land swap between Silver Pines and Pacheco, that was questionable property, the use of that property, the wetlands and the water. You don't know about water until the springtime. When you walk on a piece of property in the spring, when the ground is in between a semi-frost, when it's starting to frost, you're going to notice it's spongy. That should tell you that there's something. I don't know if people have walked on that property. I don't know if the Conservation Commission has worked with you in the past to walk on that property. They used to be very familiar with property in the wetlands. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out there's problems on a piece of property. But it's important, as I said, to do due diligence. Don't rush into something. I don't know if this is a rush job or if this is something that can wait a couple months for you to do your due diligence. Thank you very much.
Anyone else wishing to address the council?
Only Mike Clifford, 489 Blacklands Road, only because you mentioned the Souza property, it triggered a suggestion. I've made this suggestion in the past. If you're going to be purchasing any open space, would you please consider taking the money out of your fund balance rather than floating a small bond? You've got your new audit report online at the Municipal Affairs Office, and your fund balance has grown as you anticipated it would. And if before you borrow money to buy the open space, would you please use the money that you have in the fund balance? Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the council in the open forum? Hearing none. Next item. Your motion to recess into executive session. Discussion by council or other action on Rhode Island General Law 42-46-5A5. Any discussion or consideration related to the acquisition or lease of real property for public purpose, or disposition of publicly held property where an advanced public information would be detrimental to the interest of the public. One, Souza Family Limited Partnership request purchase 950 Old Smithfield Road, Plat 13, Lot 25. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, is there any representatives from the Souza family, or do they have attorneys or anybody here?
No, they don't.
May I ask that we put this off until later in the agenda then, so we can follow?
There's going to be an action later on in the agenda to address this. So,
Well, why?
this is it's going to take 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, motion to go into executive session.
Motion by Mr. Zelinski, second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barnwell?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes.